Welcome to the Savvy Up third micro lesson. This is going to be your final physical lesson. Straight after this there'll be a visualization process which will reinforce what we've done in this physical training and help you embed it into your muscle memories so it becomes an instinctive reflex. So a quick recap, we've kept it nice and simple. Someone's come into our space, which we now call our fortress. We've just raised our hands up, sharp breath in, we've driven back here, and we've defined our fortress area. We will not let anyone get into this area. From both a physical point of view and a mental point of view, we are completely motivated and dedicated to that goal. If someone does come into our area, we move back, keeping the area out, using our assertive verbal communication to control the space around us. This is the ideal scenario. Of course, this isn't always the way. Someone will just attack you out of the blue. So we need our reflexes just to respond instantly like this. Protect our head the most. Okay, now one thing to note, as you can see here, I'm protecting my head, but you can see this is all open. Okay, it's just one of those things. As the training says, it's about protecting your most valuable asset and the most common place you're going to be attacked, which is the head. In our Warrior Up program, we go into detail about how we can protect the rest of the body. But just a little heads up here, it's quite simple. We're up here and suddenly we see movement down here, we can drop our arms very easily. Okay, an elbow down into someone's arm is very painful. Okay, so this whole motion here allows us to protect the most vital areas of our body. Okay, bringing our elbows here if we need to, and we can still strike up here if we need to. So that's why I consider elbows to be one of our most effective weapons, because we can use them, of course, to block and cover ourselves. We can use them to cover here, and of course we can use them to strike here. We can also use them to break grips if need be, and we talk more about that in the Warrior Up course. So there's a couple of things I want to show you in terms of practice and in particular conditioning. All you need to do is find some kind of edge in your house, like a door frame here. And what you do is you get into position and you just turn your elbow and rest your elbow against that door frame there. What I'm looking to do now is to make sure that I've engaged my hip there. I'm just going to sit there and just push into there. Okay, it's going to allow me to develop more power into this strike here. And of course I can swap sides here and really feel that hip connection to the elbow as I do that, okay? So now if you're waiting for your kettle to boil or something, you're just waiting for something, then find an edge in your house and just lean in and feel that connection with your elbows on both sides. It's a great way to condition, it's a great way to feel how your body can become one into that elbow and make it even more powerful. I trained for 7 years in Japan, and the main thing I learned from the Japanese was they were meticulous about technique. In particular, making sure the whole body was used to generate power, which is perfect for someone like me because I'm not that tall. And the key component for generating that power was actually the hips, this hip movement here. This was an energy source in itself, okay? Some of the top karate instructors used to say, you punch with your hips, you kick with your hips, you block with your hips, everything hips, hips, hips. Okay, so that's why we use a lot of it, and it's actually our second principle of power. Now the other one we're using is this compression, this motion here, this compression here. This is another principle of power. We're driving the energy in here, and that's what allows us to drive forward. But as well as the energy in here, we're using our body movement, our shift forward into the technique. This is known as kinetic energy in science. So we're a moving object, and we're concentrating all that power into this area here, which doesn't require any conditioning, unlike a punch does. So we're transferring all that power into here, from the hip, from the compressed energy, and we're driving that into someone's face, and then striking back with the compressed energy here. It does sound a bit much, but if you're someone of smaller stature and you're not aggressive and you don't want any violence, but yet someone's attacking you, do everything you can to get home safely to your family. And so drawing all the energy and power from your body is crucial to that. There is, of course, one other key component to defending yourself, and that is the mind. I would say that maybe 60% of it is the body, and getting that technique right is going to give you a lot of speed and power, but it's the mind that can overcome. Now below this video here you'll see a 3-minute micro read. This is a great little read. It'll help you understand the concept of hysterical strength. This is a powerful concept. It's quite unexplored in terms of scientific discovery, but essentially you may have read about it in the news where these people under extreme stress find almost superhuman power overcome a really bad situation. There's stories of mothers lifting cars to get to their children that are trapped inside a car accident. Things like that. Now, whether you want to believe that or not, you can go and look it up online, it's up to you. But I believe that the mind plays an important role. It's going to galvanise all those hormones into fighting back no matter what the situation, no matter the size of the person, no matter how aggressive and powerful that person seems to be. If you practice these routines regularly and you understand how the mind works, then you can overcome anybody. So look at that 3-minute micro read. It'll talk about hysterical strength, also the opposite of that, something you don't want to end up with, which is tonic immobilization. Unfortunately, it's quite common in the moment of fear. You completely freeze, your whole body just freezes up. Okay, but that's why the visualization process that we have for you after this lesson is so important. Now, I want to introduce a strategic concept, especially for the women out there, because if someone is coming to attack you, a sexual predator or whatever, then there's nothing wrong in cowering down here and playing the weak, vulnerable card. Okay, because you see what's happening here. I'm giving this kind of, oh, please don't hurt me. But I'm not. I'm loading, I'm ready. And as they advance, that's the moment you can really drive me your power. So you're giving that person a full sense of confidence, which means they might let their guard down more, which means, right, I've got this person, they're just a victim, I'm going to get them, they're easy to get. But of course this may look like that, but in fact you're protecting yourself here, looking like you're cowering down, waiting for them to come into your fortress area and then driving through with these powerful elbow strikes. So bear that in mind. We call that the feign and storm. We're feigning weakness, but then we storm in with power. So this lesson really is about now taking these skills, continuing to improve them, but most of all embedding them into your muscle memory so they become an instant reflex. God forbid anyone tries to attack your head. So the only way to do that is through repetition and of course the visualization process. So we're just going to run another repetition. So from this angle again here, I'm just going to go at play speed nice and slow. So 1, breathing in, back there. And then again they attack, breathing in, that's 1, nice and slow. 2, 3, 4. So now we're going to do 3 at half speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now just finally 3 at full speed or whatever you can manage. Remember, be careful of the back. Some of you may not be as mobile in the hips yet, but you'll get there. So go gently on this one. 1, 2, 3. So the key to making this an instinctive life skill is to get these drill practices in regularly. We mentioned habit stacking before. Depending how big your bathroom is, for example, just before you're about to brush your teeth, just in front of the mirror, just practice. We practiced the longer version here today, but actually this just normal, just quick movement here is worth practicing as a way of protecting. Even practice double if you like. So protect the head, protect the body, and then drive in. So there's lots of opportunities to really drum this into your muscle memory and to make it an instinctive life skill. In particular, check out the visualization process. Maybe you've not done this before, but there's a whole set of scientific study that really backs up that the combination of physical practice and visualization practice together really does accelerate your skill set and make something much more instinctive. If you do have access to a punch bag or someone with pads or even a pillow that can be used as just a target, you can see the video playing now of some of these drills that you can learn Like I say, all these videos and drills are in the full 20-day Warrior Up, where you'll learn lots of different things, including escaping from rear bear hugs, which is another very common attack for a woman in particular, breaking wrist grabs, getting out of attacks against the wall. There's lots of stuff in there using the same formula of the 3 principles of power, simplified and instinctive response system that we're trying to develop and activate in the warrior that we know that you have. Okay, so check out the visualization process and keep practicing these drills. Best of luck.